Microphone check. Microphone check. So it's been a minute since I've done a Biohazard RX, and I've been saying for the last few episodes that there were only 2 more left. But after this one, there's only 1 more left. One was supposed to be filmed on Wednesday, but that one got pushed back to next week. We still doing number 11, except this one, there's a 50-50 chance it might not show up. This one that I'm about to record right now, there's a chance that it might not show up. The reason for that is because today's a special day. Today is the day I put in my 2 weeks notice at my job. It is the last month of the year, and it couldn't be a better time for me to completely just start over. So with that, there was an album I listed in my Discord a couple weeks ago that I was supposed to demo on my Twitch, and I did demo it on my Twitch, but no one showed up for it, which is what I expected. But what I thought was going to happen is I thought that it would record it and let it stay on my Twitch page, but that did not happen. Apparently, I have to sign up to be a Twitch DJ in order to use the music that they have hand selected from their library that they have the rights to. I ain't got time for that shit. I'm going to play this album again right here in this episode while I do this. And if it doesn't make it to YouTube, then you're just not going to know about this episode. If it does happen to make it to YouTube, just know that this album I'm playing is basically the side B to 2 albums I have on Bandcamp, which would be In Greed We Trust and I can't remember the name of the other one right now. But in Greed We Trust is this is the other side of that. So I'm just gonna start it off by playing that. So this album though, the reason why I'm choosing to play it now is because I finally have a title for it. And the title for this album, I'm gonna use that title that I came up with for the title of this episode. The title of this episode is going to be Biohazard RX, number 11, United Healthcare's Greatest Hits. So let's play some of that United Healthcare's Greatest Hits album. So we got that going in the background, and we are going to start off with the story of the hour, which is United Healthcare hit. Apparently, people felt that gun rights and the gun situations and the mass gun selling in this country was a good idea. And as you can see, everything is like a fucking movie. Every day in LA is a movie because of shit like that. And I gotta say, shit is looking crazy right now. Shit is looking mad crazy right now. So check this out. As you can see, this picture of this white man with a, what is this, in grim twist, some root for suspect in United Healthcare CEO's killing. That's a little extreme. That's a little crazy, but these are the times we're in right now. Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, was shot and killed outside an entrance to the New York Hilton Midtown in Manhattan, New York City on December 4th, 2024. So let's drag this fucking shit over. Let's pull up maps and let's look up that address real quick. So apparently homie got taken out right here. Let's read that again. So, entrance to New York Hilton, Midtown in Manhattan, New York City, December 4th. Damn, that's crazy. So, I mean, while we're here, I might as well show you guys this missing block that's on the screen is filled now. So I'm not gonna run the video, but if you've seen the video, you already know this shit looks fucking crazy. And these dudes is on a manhunt. And the reason why I say manhunt in quotations is because this isn't the same manhunt that they put out for Chris Dorner. This is we're pretending that we're scouring the whole fucking city for fingerprints, detecting and fucking searching every fucking camera that happens to be on streetlights. And I know that New York City has cameras on a lot of their streetlights, especially in Manhattan. So if this was the same type of manhunt that they would put out for for Chris Dorner, they would definitely be using these cameras at each intersection and linking them and checking these fucking. They have a picture of him in a vehicle. Do you really think that they can't find this vehicle within a day? This is probably a taxi. Most likely, they would go to whatever manufacturer has this slide window mechanism being built. They would check them, find out what taxi companies have this sliding window. They would lower their fucking searches. They would go on those cameras I was talking about on the streetlights and check every single license plate of every suspicious vehicle that could possibly have him in it. If you've seen the first Equalizer with Denzel, you know that those non-cop people in the movie from Russia, they did similar tactics by searching for Denzel's character. There's so many things that they could do in this manhunt that I don't see happening. This happened on December 4th. This is December 8th today. Still hasn't been caught. What the fuck, America? So not only is our gun situation in America so fucking crazy and fucked up, and I say fucked up because over here in California, nothing's legal. Somehow someone could just play every Hitman game and learn how to pull off shit like this and just ride off on Debo's bike. Yeah, ride off on Debo's bike. This nigga popped homie and rode off on a fucking bike and hasn't been caught. They found Nipsey's killer out in fucking Vegas. They haven't found homie who killed Brian Thompson, R.I.P. Brian Thompson. Now, my feelings on insurance in general and healthcare and all that shit, I'm going to keep to myself, but I don't think shit like this should be happening, and I also don't think shit like this should be happening this way. I also don't think it should be easy to do shit like this, because it looked easy. It looked just like mission number 6 from the most recent Hitman. I mean, like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking nigga, like, I love this beat, so I gotta let it play for a sec. But how in the fuck does somebody get away? And we're gonna say get away, even though he might not have gotten away in a couple days. We'll see. But how the fuck does someone get away for 4 days? This nigga's out here getting pussy. Homie just popped someone in the middle of broad daylight on a fucking. Let's look at this shit again. The prices are still up. This nigga's still charging $361 for a fucking hotel with free Wi-Fi. $418 with taxes. You're out your fucking mind. Somebody got murdered in front of this midtown Manhattan fucking New York Hilton. This is Manhattan. Yep, midtown. Damn, nigga, let's look at the photos of this place. Let's see if they got photos. Damn, that looks like a beautiful place to just pop somebody with a fucking silencer. I mean, shit. Got a nice little TV. Yeah, I mean, if they don't find this nigga soon, I'm expecting their prices to go down to $50 a stay. So I'm definitely gonna rent out one of my good bitches and bring her out there. I'll pretend we're going to Dubai, of course. I mean, she'll definitely be out there with me. Melodic. Oh, they got a gym up in that bitch too. Damn, well, this shit goes down to $50. I can't fucking wait. I'm gonna let all the homies know, like, hey, that hotel where United Healthcare homie got assassinated at, and the dude who did it got away on some fucking Michael Fassbender shit. Yeah, their stays are down to like $50 a night, nigga. Like, they got a bar up in that bitch too. Like, it's gonna be empty too. Me and my niggas gonna be back here. Nah, we gonna be back here on this side. Ain't no bar fights gonna happen. It's gonna be empty. Like, if you can legally assassinate someone and get away with it, and what, go work at Kmart for 30 years unknown? Like, what is this, the second to last season of Dexter, where that nigga just disappeared in the fucking woods before they decided to continue it and fuck up the fucking show, and now look where they're at. Damn, this one looks nice too. Damn, I could get a party going up in here. Bring a George Foreman grill. We good. We Gucci. Damn, this is crazy. Like, homie didn't even think about staying at this hotel before doing that assassination. I mean, this nigga should at least comped a free dinner at the place first. I mean, shit, nigga. Like, man, I'm not even gonna question what healthcare dude was doing here at this nice fancy hotel. So I believe, what's today? Sunday. So yesterday was UFC 310, and I wanted to see one of the fights, but I didn't turn this on because I was running a movie in Gangland Neem's Discord. So I'm gonna quickly go over the results. So in the early prelims, in the heavyweight bout, Kennedy N took the win with a TKO first round, 4 minute and 51 second. Oh, okay, so I was near the end of the round. Yeah, so apparently Clay Guida fighting Chase Hooper. I've never seen Chase Hooper, but he with a C. Damn, I'm gonna have to go back and see that fight. So they were saying on my Instagram when I was peeping it that apparently there was like a 17-year age gap between these two, and it was like the largest age gap in fight history. I was thinking to myself that with this record that he was gonna ice him real easy, but I'm surprised to see. Well, actually, no, I'm not surprised. I didn't even think about him submitting him, but I mean, that makes sense. That's not a bad idea. So Michael Chiesa, I didn't know he was fighting, but apparently he got his win with a submission against Max Griffin. So shout outs to both of them shout outs to everybody who even showed up, because that's not some easy shit. Niggas ain't showing up for a fucking fade on pay-per-view. Michael Chiesa got a win by submission, third round, 1:56 seconds. For the flyweight bout, Cody Durden versus Joshua Van, decision, round 3, 5 minutes in. I was near the end of the fight then. Like, I think that was probably in the last seconds. I'm tripping. Decision. I thought it said fucking submission. I'm tripping. So decision, round 3. So Chris Weidman made his return to the octagon, and he won by TKO KO round 2 at 4 minutes and 51 seconds. I guess there were 9 seconds left in the round, so he must have slugged it out at the end or something. And then for the prelims, we have Vicente Luke was supposed to fight Nick Diaz. I had no idea that Nick Diaz was originally supposed to be on the card. That's probably the fucking reason why I didn't watch it, because they took him off, or the shit got canceled. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm wondering why it got canceled. I'm hoping that they didn't cancel it because Nick Diaz tested positive for cannabis or something. I mean, they should still let that shit go. So in the welterweight bout, Randy Brown versus Brian Battle, decision. Featherweight, you know what? Fuck it. I wanted to know what's up with the Cyril Gahn fight, and it seems like he won by decision, and I heard it was a war, and that's really all I give a fuck about. I'm just gonna keep it honest. So today I noticed that apparently Jay-Z and Diddy accused of raping a 13-year-old girl in refiled lawsuit. So this is the thing, and I want to make this clear. This is the reason why I'm choosing Biohazard RX 11 to speak on this type of stuff. I feel like these accusations and shit are getting out of hand, and I'm not gonna prove it. I'm just gonna say that I took a look at TikTok for a story that's gonna come up in a couple minutes. Actually, I took a look at TikTok to I guess look to see if there was possible evidence on a specific aspect of another story. And I realized, what the fuck is going on TikTok? I feel like I'm at a shopping mall of just a whole bunch of people who flagrantly don't have to prove their sources or nothing. Like no one has. I feel like people are, for one, having AI read out whatever fucking voice or words are said in whatever clips you guys put on that shit. I also feel like nothing is verified. I also feel like the people that you do consult with and get your information from are full of shit. I feel like no one has a fucking computer and is going on websites to look shit up. Everyone's trying to do everything from their fucking phone. And your touch screen is not going to display everything that's on the website. Everyone thinks that their phone is a computer. It's not. Let me tell you, it's not. It's not. Whatever website you're pulling up on your phone, get on a fucking computer and pull up that same website and stop playing with yourself. So I kind of saw this coming a mile away, and I fucking knew that someone was going to try to drag Jay-Z in this shit. I wasn't there. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I will say this. Just a couple days ago, I saw an article of a cannabis industry company trying to bash the company that housed Jay-Z's cannabis brand because it wasn't a success. So let me tell you, from somebody who worked in the cannabis industry for years on the West Coast after it became legal. First thing I saw, cannabis companies trying to grasp out towards successful black people for the fucking image of this is cool, we have rappers over here. After decades and decades of let's arrest them niggas, what the fuck is that in their hand? Now let's take a look at what the fuck the cannabis industry is. Oh, wait, hold on. I already did that. Episode 7 of Biohazard RX. So as you can tell, in year 2024, after it's been established that the company who housed Jay-Z's cannabis company, by the way, I'm sure that even that fucking company didn't listen to nothing Jay-Z said. So as this company is now being bashed because that brand of cannabis wasn't successful, whose fault is it? Because I'm 1,000% sure it's not Jay-Z's fault. So whose fault is it, especially within an industry that has suppressed all black information and talent and workers out of it? Why would anyone believe any stories that come out of that industry, especially in today's climate? It's crazy how no control at all was given to Jay-Z to do the things that he probably thought would make the company successful. I'm sure of it. I'm sure, because if you listen to decades and decades and decades upon decades and even more decades of his music, he would tell you the 10 crack commandments on how he hustled himself to be a fucking billionaire. A fucking billionaire. And let me put this on the table, this unknown concept that no one in the cannabis industry knows about. Weed sells itself. So with this information, it means that someone has to step in and completely fuck up the whole operation in order for it not to work in a favor of someone like Jay-Z. Now, with this story that we have in front of me, let me just say, let's split this picture down the middle. Jay-Z and P. Diddy are not the same nigga. Both of them are from New York, and both of them became successful at the same time. And because New York is so small, both of them are connected and constantly drawn together by everyone around them. But I'm sure that these two dudes who are on way different pedigrees, would not be together like this if things were just a little bit different. So not this morning, I'm not even gonna say this morning. Today, when I was at work, I saw a small picture on Instagram that was saying this headline in it. And I immediately believed that this was bullshit. Even though Diddy is tripping and doing all this wild ass shit, I don't think that any 13-year-old girls are involved in anything that he's doing. And I don't think I'm pretty sure that Jay-Z hasn't been around a 13-year-old girl and probably since he was 13. Like, I just don't see it. I don't know why no one else can use their antennas and see that shit like this, these headlines that have no facts behind them, are all bullshit. Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and Sean Diddy Combs have been named in a civil lawsuit accusing them of raping a 13-year-old girl in year 2000. So let's go back. Year 2000, I believe that was like around the time he was working with Pharrell and dropping those hits. I think that's around the time he got with Beyonce, if my records steer correctly. Now, there's a big difference between where's my camera? There's a big difference between those two things. Beyonce and any other woman other than Beyonce. I'm sure if you are talking to Beyonce, you are not attracted or even glancing at or giving any language or speak towards any walking object other than Beyonce. So this is, it just makes no sense. It's completely, who is gonna provide any evidence of proof towards this? Like, I need to see Jay-Z at a McDonald's play place to believe this shit. So I'm gonna start calling these Edward articles, because I feel like shit like this is, I'm not gonna say this because this article I'm sure is gonna give an explanation of the lawsuit being filed, but the media that run with that a fucking headline as if it's true, that's where I have the issue. And we're gonna get into that in a sec. Believe me, there's a reason why everything is going the way it's going right now. By the way, this album that's playing in the background is some shit I made way back in the day. This is not some new shit. The anonymous accuser, identified as Jane Doe, let me highlight that, refiled the lawsuit on Sunday, originally submitted in October solely against Combs in the Southern District of New York. So I believe that this lawsuit was filed pretty much after Diddy went through his shit. Not before, but after. The alleged incident occurred after the MTV Video Music Awards. According to the lawsuit, the accuser was invited to a party after being told by a limousine driver that she fit what Diddy was looking for. She was taken to a house where she signed a document she believed was a non-disclosure agreement to gain entry. The lawsuit describes the party as filled with celebrities, drugs, and alcohol. The accuser alleges she was given a drink that left her feeling disoriented and went to lie down. She claims Carter and Combs entered the room with Combs saying, you are ready to party," before they both sexually assaulted her. The accuser says she escaped further assault by striking Combs and fled the house, later calling her father from a gas station. Filed under New York's Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act, the lawsuit seeks unspecified damages. Combs, currently jailed on unrelated charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, has denied all allegations. Jay-Z's representatives have not yet commented. So the lawsuit has drawn significant public attention, highlighting broader concerns about abuse within the entertainment industry. All right, so let's comb through this again, no pun intended. The lawsuit describes the party as filled with celebs, drugs, and alcohol. The accuser alleges she was given a drink that left her feeling disoriented and went to lie down. This sounds really fucking familiar. This really sounds like some shit that one girl who used to be with Snoopy Badass before he lost his fucking mind and tried to bring Drake to Compton. This sounds a lot like that shit, that story that she told on No Jumper with Adam, when she thought that he was gonna give her some kind of fucking recognition and better her life. This sounds just like that fucking story that she told, and then the person before her told, and the person before her told, and then the person before her told, and the person is gonna say tomorrow when they try to get clout off of being in the fucking celebrity room when this bad, tragic shit was happening that's possibly ruining his fucking family. I don't know if his sons are also in jail with him or not, because I remember seeing them in cuffs. So what MTV Music Video Awards in 2000? Let's dig up evidence on that. Where's the name of the lawyer involved, or the attorney? Where is anything showing that this Jane Doe isn't a made up fucking person trying to gain clout? And it's crazy because a lot of times I feel now, especially when it comes to a black celebrity, I feel like lots of times now people just want to file some shit under some false name, not even trying to get it anywhere. I think that the main purpose of this shit now is to completely destroy someone's reputation. So this person who filed this shit and threw Jay-Z in it, I'm not gonna say it's like some fucking, I'm not gonna try to paint them as, oh man, it's someone just trying to do some shit to another black man. It probably is someone who's black. It probably is someone who went to school with one of them and was like, you know what? I ain't like how that nigga took my sandwich when we was in 5th grade. Right now is the time for me to make up this false fucking lawsuit with no evidence whatsoever and run that shit all over headlines. And if it doesn't go nowhere, cool, it fucked their shit up. I feel like there's a lot of that going on nowadays, and people need to keep their antennas open towards shit like that. I'm not going to say 100% this is one of those cases, but I feel like this is what those cases look like. Where's the limousine driver? What's his name? What company did he work for? What limousines did the MTV Music Awards commission that night in year 2000 when they had the awards? What non-disclosure agreement was signed? When they searched his laptop that they recovered whenever they fucking raided his whole mansion, did they find this non-disclosure document? Are they able to find files or records on his computer that show that here's a record of having people sign this document? What is on this document? What are the contents of it? How come none of this shit is connecting with anything that's been currently going on with this whole situation? I watch my homie I watch my homie do videos on this all the time, like comb through all this types of shit, and I see what's going on in the media and what evidence is presented. And when I go back to these articles, she was given a drink that left her feeling disoriented. Of course you were. This is the easiest fucking shit you can make up. You saw a No Jumper interview where they said the same shit, and now here you are, Jane Doe. I mean, the accuser says she escaped further assault by striking Combs and fled the house, later calling her father from a gas station. So when did her father give his testimony? When did he file a police report with, like, this is just more shit to remind people that he's fighting sex trafficking charges. So this part right here is cat, because apparently Jay-Z did respond. Let me pause that real quick. So apparently Jay-Z did respond, apparently via Rock Nation, and I have Complex pulled up on X, even though I don't have X because I'm not a fucking KKK member. Apparently from Rock Nation, it says, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. Let's see if we can look him up real quick. Oh, damn, I was wrong. Oh, shit. It isn't a black person. Holy fuck. What do you know? It looks like a greedy ass lawyer who works for a fucking law firm. Let me just make sure this is the right lawyer. Tony Busby Law Firm. It seems like we'll get back to him in a sec. So, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby, Anthony Busby, if you may. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion, so no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. Damn, that's fucking this is a different level. Like I read this earlier, and that's the reason why I pulled this up. I was like, I need to read this to niggas because what he's saying is real at the same time poetic, and I feel like I'm reading bars right now. like I like 2 days ago I was like, damn man, I ain't heard Jay-Z rap in a minute. But after reading this, I'm like, you know what? I'm good right now. I don't need another song. Like this right here has me like, this. But at the same time though, I feel what he's saying because like honestly, although this is poetic and it's a good message, and also at the same time this explains exactly how a lot of people feel. A lot of people are in these situations, especially people who are in his position and like are famous and known. Like when this shit is all over the fucking news, bruh, this is black media we're talking about. This is gonna be all over black YouTube, black Twitter, black fucking everything. But I'm reading this shit in order to shut that shit the fuck down. So my heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. If you've seen that movie Nightcrawler, you know exactly what he's talking about. Ambulance chaser. That's some real shit. And Nightcrawler is a movie that takes place in LA. So maybe it's a little bit different in LA than everywhere else. But yeah, there really are some fucking ambulance chasers. Like, man, you have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake psychics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. So when I've read this, I'm really fucking hoping that this is the means that Jay-Z can take this dude to court. He doesn't need to take him to court, but I really want him. I'm really hoping that the situation is something where he's able to, if not now, in the future, able to take someone to court over this shit, because these slanderous allegations that I know are not going to be proven and implicated Jay-Z into it at all in the next 5 years, at least. I know nothing's going to fucking happen with this. Maybe with Diddy, but not with Jay-Z. And with that said, when that shit does come true, what I just said, I feel like Jay-Z will be owed money. Period. The Tribune Express. Who knows? Maybe 2 million people in fucking... I don't even know where the fuck the Tribune's from, but maybe 2 million people in Australia read this shit when they have their coffee in the morning, and they suddenly think that Jay-Z is with some 13-year-olds. That would be damaging to his specific status, his status specifically, because it's different for him. Is like he said, he's from a different world. His world is different. This shit that they're doing, this shit right here, this fucking headline that's at the top of the story with a good ass picture of 2 at the time successful black men. This shit is damaging. You don't do this shit. Today is the day this shit ends. This shit right here, this is crazy, bruh. This is fucking crazy. So that's 2 crazy ass stories back to back. That whole fucking United Health assassination and this shit. I really like what Jay-Z said. I really like what Rock Nation said. Let's turn this beat back on. I really like what they said. So this shit right here, I got a homegirl, shout out to you. I'm not going to say her name because I know every one of my male followers who's watching this shit is going to slide in your DMs. So no disrespect, I'm just saving you from that. But I know you wanted me to cover this story, so I'm going to cover this. But one of my homegirls showed her people an article of Flockiana covering this story. And I told her, don't trust nothing Flockiana says because he's been proven cap. And if anyone questions that, it's not that hard to prove. So I looked into this story and I figured that I would bring up this article and read this because this is basically a general explanation for those who don't know. So in the headlines, it says massive sex tape leak could be a ploy for power in Central Africa. This is a picture of Baltasar Ebang Ngonga. He is I forgot what he is, but he works in the financials, and I believe they're in Ghana. Hold on, let me make sure. I think they're in Ghana, but I'm gonna read what this says. So what the rest of the world sees as a sex tape scandal could in fact be the latest episode in the real life drama over who will become Equatorial Guinea's next president. Over the past fortnight, dozens of videos, estimates range from 150 to more than 400, have been leaked as a senior civil servant having sex in his office and elsewhere with different women. They have flooded social media, shocking and titillating people in the small Central African country and beyond. Many of the women filmed were wives and relatives of people close to the center of power. It appears some were aware they were being filmed having sex with Baltasar Ebang, Mr. Ngonga, who is also known as Bello because of his good looks. All this is hard to verify as Equatorial Guinea is a highly restricted society where a free press does not exist. But one theory is that the leaks were a way to discredit the man at the center of the storm. Mr. Ngonga is a nephew of President Teodoro Obiang Nguema, and one of those thought to be hoping to replace him. Obiang is the world's longest serving president, having been in the power since 1979. Holy shit. Having been in power since 1979. God damn. God damn. What the fuck? Nigga, what? The 82-year-old has been overseen has overseen an economic boom that has turned to the bust as a result of the now dwindling oil reserves. There is a small, extremely wealthy elite, but many of the 1.7 million people in the country live in poverty. Obiang's administration is heavily criticized for its human rights record, including arbitrary killings and torture, according to a U.S. government report. It has also had its fair share of scandals, including the revelations about the lavish lifestyle of one of the president's sons, now vice president, who once owned a $275,000 crystal-encrusted glove worn by Michael Jackson. Nigga, what? What? What the fuck? Bro, what the fuck? I feel like I'm losing my fucking mind reading this shit. Despite regular elections, there is no real opposition in Equatorial Guinea, as activists have been jailed and exiled, and those with designs on office are closely monitored. Politics in this country is really about palace intrigue, and this is where the scandal involving Mr. Ngonga fits in. He was the head of the National Financial Investigation Agency and worked on tackling crimes such as money laundering, but it turned out he himself was under investigation. He was arrested on October 25th, accused of embezzling a huge sum of money from state coffers and depositing it in secret accounts in the Cayman Islands. He has not commented on the accusation. Mr. Ngonga was then taken to the infamous Black Beach prison in the capital, Malabo, where it is alleged that opponents of the government are subjected to brutal treatment. His phones and computers were seized in a day, and a few days later, the inmates' videos started appearing online. The first reference the BBC has found to them on Facebook is from October 28th on the page of Diario Rombe, a news site run by a journalist in exile in Spain, which said that social networks exploded with the leaking of explicit images and videos. A post on X the following day referred to the monumental scandal shaking the regime as pornographic videos flood social media. Yeah, so that's Obiang in the picture. But they are believed to have originally appeared one by one a few days earlier on Telegram, on one of the platform's channels known for publishing pornographic images. They were then downloaded on the people's phones and shared among WhatsApp groups in Equatorial Guinea where they caused a storm. Mr. Ngonga was quickly identified along with some of the women in the videos, including relatives of the president and wives to ministers and senior military officials. The government was unable to ignore what was going on, and on October 30th, Vice President Teodoro Obiang Mangu, once owner of the Michael Jackson glove, gave telecoms companies 24 hours to come up with ways to stop the spread of the clips. "We cannot continue to watch families fall apart without taking any action," he wrote on X. In the meantime, the origin of these publications is being investigated to find the author or authors and make them answer for their actions. As the computer equipment was in the hands of the security forces, suspicion has fallen on someone there who perhaps sought to trash Mr. Ngonga's reputation ahead of a trial. The police have called on women to come forward to open a case against Mr. Ngonga for their non-consensual sharings of intimate images. One has already announced that she is suing him. What is not clear is why Mr. Ngonga made the recordings, but activists have put forward what could be other motives behind the explosive leak. That's what I'm wondering. As well as being related to the president, Mr. Ngonga is the son of Baltasar Ngonga Edijo, the head of the Regional Economic and Monetary Union, CEMAC, and very influential in the country. What we are seeing is the end of an era, the end of the current president, and there is a succession, and this is the internal fighting we are seeing, said Equatorial Guinean activist I'm not going to say the name, now living in London. Speaking to the BBC Focus on Africa podcast, he alleged that Vice President Obiang was trying to politically eliminate anyone who could challenge his succession. The vice president, along with his mother, are suspected to be pushing aside anyone who threatens his path to the presidency, including Gabriel Obiang Lima, another son of President Obiang from a different wife, who was oil minister for 10 years and then moved to a secondary government role. Those in the elite are thought to know things about each other that they would rather was not made public, and videos have been used in the past to humiliate and discredit a political opponent. There are also frequent accusations of coup plotting, which fuels paranoia. But Mr. Cruz also alleges that the authorities want to use the scandal as an excuse to crack down on social media, which is how a lot of information about what is really going on in this country gets out. This shit is burning my fucking eyes. Like, god damn. In July, authorities temporarily suspended the internet after protests broke out on the island of Annobon for him. The fact that a high-ranking official was having sex outside of marriage was not surprising. It is part of the decadent lifestyle of the country's elite. The vice president, who himself had been convicted of corruption in France and has had lavish assets seized in various countries, wants to be seen as the man cracking down on graft and wrongdoing at home. Last year, for example, he ordered the arrest of his half-brother over allegations he sold a plane owned by the state airline. But in this case, despite the vice president's efforts to stop the spread of the clips, they continue to be viewed. This week, he tried to appear more resolute, calling for the installation of CCTV cameras in government offices to combat incident and illicit acts. The official news agency reported, saying that the scandal had denigrated the image of the country. He ordered that any officials found engaging in sex acts at work would be suspended as this was a flagrant violation of code of conduct. He was not wrong that the story has attracted a lot of outside interest, judging by Google's data. Search inquiries that include the country's name have shot up since beginnings of the week. On Monday, X, by the way, this article is from a little bit back. We're going to go back to the date in a little bit. But this isn't some shit that just dropped this week. This is a little old. I was supposed to cover this a while back. On Monday on X, Equatorial Guinea was one of the top trending terms in Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa, surpassing at times interest in the U.S. election. And this is what I was talking about earlier with the Jay-Z thing. Shit like this blows the fuck up. This is damaging to someone's reputation, especially if it ends up not being true. And there's a reason why I'm speaking on the sources and shit not being true. And it still ties back to Flockiana as well. That nigga be lying. This has left some activists who have been trying to tell the world about what is really going on in the country frustrated. Equatorial Guinea has much bigger problems than this sex scandal, said Mr. Cruz, who works for a rights organization called GE Nusra. The sex scandal for us is just a symptom of the illness. It's not the illness itself. It just shows how corrupt the system is. Yeah, I mean, that's some weird shit. And like, apparently, like, people are claiming that this nigga done... People are claiming that his wife is doing shit. And when I looked her up, I didn't see nothing. I'm gonna keep it 100. I didn't see nothing like there. I don't think there's videos of her doing the same shit. Many individuals expressed their disapproval of the marriage after the sex tape video of Baltzar Ibang Gonga's wife. Maybe she did have a sex tape leak. Due to the leaked sex tapes, the pair is currently dealing with a lot of backlash that has sparked many inquiries regarding the state of their relationship. Many people have accused Baltzar's wife of cheating on her husband in the response to the recently released video showing her having an affair. They claim that Baltzar and Gonga and his wife are both aware of the antics that led to their poisonous marriage. The pair's intimate films which showed them having similar plans to go from one guy or woman to another were the basis of their claims. In response to the revelation, Nigerian social media star Very Darkman, who is well known for tackling problems, explained why Gonga's wife is also unfaithful. He claims that after witnessing her most recent sex tape, he has discovered that, contrary to what many people believe, the woman has more sex drive than her spouse Ngonga. He continued by saying that even though their CCTV footage was discovered during the investigation, Ngonga knew about his wife's infidelity but chose to ignore it, which led him to participate as well. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Alright, so that's the end of that album. I'm gonna turn that off. What the fuck? So, what the fuck? Is she the fucking root of the problem? Like, did she start this shit? Is that what they're trying to say? Because I'm gonna keep it 100. I always think that the woman is doing something or something. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it 100. Before I read that part, I was actually on her side. But now I'm like, yeah, I gotta go with my instinct. Here's the truth that might eventually come out. This man, Baltasar Ibang Ngonga, was the head of the Financial Crimes Division. His job was to investigate corruption and other financial crimes. Now, who do you think would be the most common perpetrator of corruption? The answer is the men in power who can use their position for their own personal gain. A corrupt judge taking huge sums of money to dismiss a case. A corrupt politician who will take a bribe from nearly anybody. Now, these men were guilty of financial crimes, but they didn't want to get prosecuted. So the deal they made with Ngonga was to allow their wives to get effed by him, and he would not bring their corruption or their crimes to the light. That's the truth. That sounds fucking crazy. That sounds crazy. Fucking Reddit. That shit sounds crazy. I don't know if that's true or not. So Tony Busby, back to this nigga. This is the nigga who is apparently fucking, let's see. Yep, that's him. Tony Busby. So that's the dude who's apparently working with the Jane Doe who's trying to throw Jay-Z into this bullshit. And now Jay-Z is at home right now talking to his daughter, explaining to her the same thing that I just said, is that these fucking allegations lots of times are bullshit and nothing behind it is fucking proven. If there is something behind it proven, there's evidence and there's video and shit like that, sure, we'll run with it. But until then, niggas need to walk on eggshells with shit like that, especially when it comes to someone like Jay-Z. This nigga might not be here tomorrow. This dude in this picture, he might have crossed a fucking line. I mean, he's a lawyer, so he's supposed to know what he's doing. But he might possibly have crossed a line on some shit that can't be proven with a statement that, I take that back. I think he's good, actually. The person that he's working with might be in trouble. So, now that we're off of those stories, I want to speak on this. So before I do that, Alex Consani. Who is Alex Consani? This is Alex Consani. Now, I'm not going to say nothing disrespectful. I support LGBTQ community, and I don't want no one to get shit twisted. But at the same time, at the same time, what what the fuck is this? These two are not the same. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Anak Yai, as seen to the left, speaks out after losing Model of the Year to Alex Consani at 2024 Fashion Awards. I feel like I'm about to have a fucking panic attack. Like I said, these two are not the same. These, like, what the fuck are we talking about? Losing Model of the Year award. Are you, who the fuck is at these fashion award shows and needs to lose their job so I can take their job? Like, what, who, like, do you need glasses? I'm really curious. Who the fuck is making the decisions at the fashion awards? What do they look like? First off, what do they look like? Because when I look at this, it's not the same. So I'm assuming that I get it. I get it. It just all clicked. It all clicked. So this country, our forefathers, let me take that back. Their forefathers, whenever this country was first assembled, put things in a position that were never, ever, 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 ever going to change, no matter how far we go into the future. Certain things are never going to change. They're set in stone. Modeling, however, isn't. Modeling 10 years ago, the definition of it, 20, 50 years ago, is not the same definition today. Today, modeling means something way different than it did when I was a kid. Because I'm fucking confused on what the fuck model of the year means, because these two are not the same. Like, I felt like I knew what a model was, but I guess maybe I don't anymore. I'm confused. I don't know what a model is, because when I saw Caitlyn Jenner on the cover of a magazine and it said Woman of the Year, I realized maybe I don't know what a woman is. Now, how does possibly one of the most beautiful women walking on the fucking planet currently lose anything with the word model in it? I need to see who's in charge of making decisions at the fashion awards. I need to speak to corporate. I need someone to give me their number, because someone needs to lose their job, and someone like me needs a job there after I step in to direct movies at Disney, because apparently they need a new fucking director as well. If you ain't seen the last 10 fucking Marvel movies, after I've reviewed games for IGN, and then that's after I replace such and such. Like, bro, what is happening? The world is crumbling right now. The world is crumbling. Like, nothing makes any fucking sense. Like, let's just look real quick, because this is a man right here. If you didn't notice right now, I didn't want to say that for those who don't know, but this right here, yeah, that's a man. That I mean, maybe not anymore due to America's terms and conditions, but these are not. We're talking about the baddest woman one of the baddest women walking the entire planet. Like, you could search the entire planet. Like let's see. Let's pull up Google Earth. Like, let's just see how big this planet is. I'm moving the earth. Right now, as it turns sunlight in your region, it's because I'm moving the earth. I'm Poltergeist Almighty. This shit is going slow because I have all these fucking tabs open. But let's just zoom in real quick. Let's see how big this earth is. I don't know what all these lines are in the ocean. But if we swung this whole fucking earth over, she is one of the baddest on the planet. On the entire fucking planet. For real, for real. Like, women do not just look like that. That's not a normal thing. Like, she looks so good, I would not be able to let her go outside ever. Even if you spun this whole fucking world around, they're not gonna look as good as this, bro. Like, this is crazy. How? It just makes no sense. It makes me think that the people who are in charge at whatever fucking fashion show place, I have a feeling that when I see them, they're gonna be people who have 2 eye patches on while someone else is signing the fucking paper for them. Either that or it's some 90-year-old white man, the typical one that's always at the head of every corporation in America. Bad. Bad. I'm ending this episode on this. Like, this is, like, the way she looks is art itself. She has so many different looks, and everything I'm talking about right now has nothing to do with her personality. I've never even heard her speak. She probably has an awesome personality on top of just what I have to say about what she looks like. She can look like Lauryn Hill. She can look like she can, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, her modeling is just different. And another cool thing too is she's from the US apparently, which surprises me. I was like, damn, how the fuck did they try to tell us that she lost to someone else in fashion and modeling? "20 years from now, someone else is going to be wearing this same thing that she's wearing. And they're trying to tell us today that she's not model of the year." That shit looks trippy. But I'm going to say it again. 10 years from now, someone's going to be wearing this and probably this outfit at an award show. And they're trying to tell us that she ain't model of the year. These two are not the same thing. I'm just going to end it with that.